What is going on, party people? Welcome to the party that is Thursday night Top 5 Baits Live. As you get in, drop me a comment. Let me know you're here. If you don't mind, hit that thumbs up. Let's get YouTube to notify some more people about this Top 5 Baits deal, and let's get a party started. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm starting off kind of slow. I'm a little distracted. What is going on? Let's see what we got going on. We got Kevin Jones is the first comment. Appreciate you being quick on the trigger, Big Kev. Johnny Rockets in the house. What's up? JC, 6 Mile Outdoors. Boy, John Chan in the house. The Raging Cajun from 1982. What is up, Big Cuz? Big John's Life. What's up, B-Law? Oh, wow. Now they're coming in quick. I can't keep up. Wow. That just jumped down real fast. Junior Maccabee, JD Clan Fishing, Justin Boyd, Seabach, Vic Pearsall, Mad Manziggy, 89. I think I said that right. John Didney, Bass Raider, Gary Payne, Tom G, Mike Perez, Jared Carson, Dylan Watts, D to the dub, Sean Andre, Brian Howe, Z to the dub, Zach Watts, John Home, Lane Bosley, Todd Fleischer. What's up, Fleischer? Fleischer's live with Whiskey Myers over there at the Mossy Oak Ranch. If y'all missed that, go check it on Facebook on Mossy Oak's Facebook page. Our boys from Whiskey Myers did a live show. A couple of the guys from Whiskey Myers did a live show. Apparently, Todd Fleischer's out there with them. That's really cool, Todd. Wesley Freeman, Tommy Davis, D-Wiz Fishing, WM Holland, Chris Day, Bass Force One. What is going on, everybody? Thank you, each and every one of you. Always, I know it's probably boring for those of you that may watch this live stream for the first time. Might think it's boring that I say thank you to everybody, or hello and thank you for everybody joining. Bryant White is in the house. If you saw the Facebook post where I was wearing a Tupac t-shirt with a Fish Life logo talking about Tupac about that life, Bryant White is the mad scientist that came up with that. He gave that to me as a gift before our guide trip the other day, and it was my favorite customer gift ever. I've gotten some really good stuff from customers. That was my favorite. I like the t-shirt a lot. So, let's talk about some top 5 baits. Talk about fishing. Where is Johnny the Kid? Newsflash. Before we talk about baits, let's get to a couple things. Johnny the Kid is a legend in the making. There's going to be a big post. We're gonna post about it sometime here in the next few days. Probably Monday, I think we're gonna post about it. Johnny the Kid may have done something pretty special yesterday. We're kind of keeping it under our hats until we're ready to post it, because Johnny the Kid, a.k.a. Jonathan Bowling, the brand new Lake Fork guy from Broken Bow, the young guy. He's 21, but he looks like he's like 8. Pretty sure he hit puberty the other day when we were filming when his voice cracked. He's incredible, and he had an unbelievable day yesterday. We're gonna share that with you guys come Monday, so be looking forward to that. Also, listen, guys, I need to apologize to all of y'all that watch this channel faithfully for so many years, man. I always say I don't have the biggest following, but I do feel like I have the best. And I have been off schedule, inconsistent. Man, this year has been, as you can imagine, I'm sure everybody's year 2020 has been crazy with everything that's going on. It's been no different in my house, man. Things have been crazy. I've had a hard time being as consistent as I usually am on the video output. You guys usually can set the clock. Monday, 6 o'clock, you're getting Day on the Water. Tuesday, 6 o'clock, you're getting a podcast. Wednesday, at 6 o'clock, you're getting Guides Network. I haven't been keeping up with that schedule as much as I should have. I'm going to do my very best, and I think I've got it rounded up where I can get us back on track starting next week. So starting next Monday, you guys will get the regular schedule that you used to have. Monday evenings, on the water video or challenge video, but our Day on the Water. Tuesday's podcast, Wednesday, Guides Network, Thursday live stream, and that is the schedule we will run going forward. Of course, Sundays will be seminar videos as well. I apologize for getting off schedule and off track a little bit this year. We're going to try to get back on schedule. And right now, we should be tracking to do that starting next week. Also, podcast episode that didn't come out this Tuesday, we're going to go ahead and drop that tomorrow. So this week's podcast episode is coming, and it will be out tomorrow. So, appreciate you guys' patience on all of that. Cody Mays, what's up, brother? Bass Raider. Bigfoot J. There he is. Johnny the Kid, the legend himself, is in the house. Awesome. Steve Chastain, Justin Ives, appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys. Hey, check this out. So, also, the Your Lake Fork Guide tournament that some of you guys have wanted to do, it's going to be a Your Lake Fork Guide tournament, but it's going to be a Fish Life tournament. So we're actually going to do a tournament benefiting 22 Kill, I believe is the organization that we're going to do a benefit for. You'll hear more about this in the weeks going forward. I'll announce it every week. We'll talk about it every week as we get closer to it. talk about the different partners that come on board as we get closer to it. As of right now, we're going to do a benefit for 22 Kill, which is a great military organization. It's all about preventing veteran suicide, which is something, obviously being a veteran myself, obviously knowing some guys that have struggled with some things, that is something that's of great importance to myself. So it's something that I wanted to make sure when we picked a charity, I wanted it to be a military charity with my background. I also wanted it to be the right military charity. Wanted it to be one that we really can stand behind and believe in the cause, and that's what's most important to us. So we're going to do that. Holiday weekend, July 4th and 5th. No other tournaments on Lake Fork. Not too many other tournaments going on in the area that I know of. July 4th and 5th. July 4th falls on a Saturday. Hey, we're going to give back to our veterans. We're going to give to 22 Kill. We're going to try and take care of our veterans that have done so much for us. And I can't think of a better time to do that than when we're celebrating the independence that has been afforded us. We have maintained and retained our independence because of men that this tournament will go to benefit. So, can't think of a better date for that tournament. We're going to call it the Fish Life Forever Grateful Tournament, because we will forever be grateful for every sacrifice that every veteran has ever made. As long as I am a part of Fish Life, as long as Fish Life is a company and Billy Lawson is involved, we will forever be grateful for every sacrifice that every veteran has made. We don't preach on it to get recognition. We don't preach on it to try and make you like us. We preach on it because we believe in it. We really don't preach on it at all. We don't really talk about it, but we do believe in it. We're going to do everything we can to benefit a great cause. So July 4th and 5th. July 4th, the first day, is going to be a team tournament. $100 entry fee team tournament. Okay, guys? That's what's going to happen there. It's going to be a 70% payback to the participants. So you're still going to have a chance to win some money. It's going to be a real tournament. 30% is going to be donated to the charity. We're also going to have an auction of some donated awesome items that should be there that evening. We're going to auction those out at the weigh-in that evening. Also, we're going to have a guides tournament on Sunday, July 5th. I've already got several guides lined up. What we're going to do, we're going to announce all the guides that you can bid on as your partner, okay? And you guys will be able to participate in a silent auction that we will have set up after we announce them all, where you can bid on who you want your partner to be for the guides tournament on Sunday. Sunday, we will go out. You'll meet up with your guide. We'll all meet at a designated time and location, which will be Lake Fork Marina, of course. We will launch and fish all day Sunday, and we will weigh every fish in the boat, and every fish over 2 pounds will count. We'll go with the MLF format. It'll be who catches the most total weight will win that tournament. Of course, we'll have a big bass category as well. By the way, on the team tournament on Saturday, $100 team tournament entry fee for your team. There is an optional $20 big bass pot. So you don't have to pay the extra, but if you want to get in the big bass competition, you can do that as well. So total all in, you're in for $120. If you choose to do the guides tournament, bid on a guide, and you win one, then whatever you bid on that guide is what you'll pay, and you'll get to fish a tournament format with a guide on Sunday. So, of course, I'll be involved in that deal on Sunday, but we already have 9 other guides as well involved. And there will be more. I just started talking to guys, so I'm going to talk to some more guys. We're going to try and get as many as we can available for that Sunday event. So this is going to be a big deal, man. We're going to have big to-doings. We're going to have a great time doing it. And we're going to raise as much money as we can and see what we can do to help a great organization. So it's really 2 different tournaments. Absolutely. It's 2 different tournaments. You have a single-day team tournament, and then you have, by the way, that was a question from Stephen Little. You have a guides tournament on Sunday where you can bid for your partner, whoever you want your guide to be on Sunday to be your partner. Can I make the trip from Iowa and fish the team tournament Saturday? I mean, that's up to you. Everybody's welcome. I don't care where you're from. Even if you're from China, come on out there, cough all over us, and let's go fishing. That was a joke, people. Everybody calm down. That was a joke. That was a joke. Going to be an awesome event, man. I sure hope so. I know we're going to have a lot of fun. I would love to help you on the tournament. Cody, yes. I will text you when we're done here. Cody, we will absolutely accept your help. We're going to need some help. There's no doubt about it. Robert Otwell, what's up, buddy? What's up? Troy, man. Amen, brother. Thanks, sir. $22 Kill is a great group. Yes, yes, they are. Big John says he likes the podcast on Fridays. Who wants the podcast on Fridays? If you want the podcast to go up on Fridays, we can do that going forward. I was trying to do them on Tuesdays since we always talk. We actually shoot the podcast on Sundays, so I was trying to keep it more current by airing them on Tuesdays. But if you guys would rather have the podcast on Fridays, let me know. Jeremiah Smith said he'd like to donate. Jeremiah, contact me after the live stream. Hit me up at my website, yourlakefortguy.com, or we have our phone number. Hit me up at the phone number. But yeah, let me know, buddy. If you want to donate, we'd love to have you involved. Anyway, Michael Simmons says, hi, my guy. You going to bid on me, Big Mike? I would appreciate it, dog. You know I would. All right, so listen, I got to get into top 5 baits. We've been rambling for 10 minutes. I want to answer as many questions as possible, but I need to get top 5 baits done so I can answer some questions for you guys. So, top 5 baits, let's talk about it. Hey, man, first and foremost, we're going to go offshore fishing first tonight. Normally I go shallow first. Today we're going to go offshore first. There is both. Obviously, as you'll see in the top 5 baits, both bites are happening. It could be the Alabama rig. This is an 8-bladed smash rig from Smash Tech Custom Baits. A lot of good Alabama rigs out there. This one has caught, I have no idea how many bass it's caught. And say striped bass. White bass and largemouth. Big largemouth up to 7-8 pounds. Don't know how many this particular individual rig has caught. You can see it still holds up. Still holds up. Beautiful rig, well built, Smash Tech Custom Baits. My man Heath Taylor does a great job. Now the rest of the rig is 6 cents. I got the 6 cent Divine swim bait heads. These are the best swim bait heads on the market. You won't find any better. That screw lock allows, especially that's important on an Alabama rig, that your baits hold on. Look at that, guys. I'm jerking on that swim bait and it's not budging. The screw lock going down the shank of the hook on these jig heads makes them the deal. Plus they have a heavy gauge bad A hook. I'm also using the little 3.3 Divine swim baits, or the swim baits that I'm using on my Alabama rig. That's bait number 1. The deal with this bait is, if you saw some of the pictures, you catch sand bass in plenty of quantity, but you also catch largemouth, and often on the same cast you'll catch both. In fact, the other day I was on a deal where I would slow roll it. I'd get a bite, set the hook. Oh, okay, that's a sand bass, and then I would just kind of slow down, reel them in, and a largemouth would grab another bait, and I would catch both at the same time. So really cool bite, really fun bite. It's fun to set the hook. I don't care what it is that bites. And then on top of that, we're catching some big largemouth, some good average size largemouth, and a bunch of big sand bass mixed in. A lot of fun on the Alabama rig right now. The other best bait I have out deep for me right now is Big Perm, of course. Big Perm, the Magnum Crawler from Smash Tech Custom Baits. My favorite big straight tail worm. I was fortunate enough to be the one to launch this worm with Heath Taylor from Smash Tech. This sucker right here has no salt in it. It stands up on the bottom. Great, 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 amazing bait. Catches a lot of fish. Arguably my most consistent bait throughout the summer offshore is this bait right here. One of my key components is my 6 cents shaky head. This is the 5/8 ounce shaky head. The reason I love it, look at this thing. Shark gaff, baby. 7/0 hook in that shaky head. Man, I can fish that on my 7.7 heavy rod. Ripple as hard as I want to ripple, take full control over that fish, and get them in the boat yesterday and boat flip them. Like you guys know I like to. So Big Perm and Alabama rig. That's my 2 best offshore baits. Now let's talk about some shallow stuff. Chatterbait. Get around some grass, chatterbait will still get bit. Get around grass and the chatterbait will, say it with me. Get around grass, the chatterbait will still get bit. It's a little bit like Novocaine. You give it enough time, it always works. But I'm throwing the white chatterbait predominantly. We are mixing in a little bit Bite Delight, but the white chatterbait predominantly is the one I'm throwing. Mixing up the trailer. Some days it seems like they'll bite the boot tail trailers a little better. Some days that impact shad, little split tail fluke, works a little better as a trailer, and they get committed to that better. So kind of have an experiment on the trailers to see which ones are committing to the best on that given day. Another bait that we're using a lot, we're starting to use this bait a lot, is punching. We're punching. So we've got a 1 ounce tungsten. You can find the chip-proof tungsten that I like to use from 6 Cents Fishing. Obviously you can find that there at 6centsfishing.com. This prawn is the bait I'm using. I'm using 2 colors. I'm using Nirvana, which is a green pumpkin on one side, black and blue flake on the other. I'm using this color right here. This was my best color the last couple of days. Bluegrass Magic, little watermelon blue flake on one side and like a blue sheen on the other. Guys, these mats, every one of these mats I'm catching fish out of, okay, and this is on multiple lakes, by the way. Every one of these mats that I'm catching fish out of, I'm seeing brim swim around the edge of the mat. Every one of these brim have a little blue highlight to their tail right now, and it is that exact color. That exact color. Bluegrass Magic, great color. This is the 6 Cents prawn. All these 6 Cents baits, go to 6centsfishing.com, order them up. When you do, punch in the code Your Lake Fork Guide. Get yourself a 10% discount on on anything that you would like to order. We would sure appreciate it. And the little discount is just a little small smidgen of thank you that we feel towards each and every one of you. I almost sounded like I knew what I was doing when I said that. Hey, all right, last bait. I know, listen, I fish a lot of my sponsor baits because I believe in them. Like, what you guys gotta understand, I know I plug a lot of sponsor baits. It's because I use them. I showed you the jackhammer, not a sponsored bait. I really believe the 6 cent shaky head is the best shaky head on the market. I really believe the Smash Tech Magnum Crawler, aka, say it with me, Big Perm, is the best big straight tail worm on the market. Those jig heads from 6 cents, those are the best swim bait jig heads for swim baits. I really believe in I fish these baits because I think they're the best. I only work with these companies because I have input and I can talk to them and I believe in the quality of product that they put out. But we do use products other than sponsored products from time to time, and one of them right now that we're using is a Yellow Magic. And forgive me, I do not know what that color is called, but it's like, shad colored, white, gray on the bottom. It's got a little bit of a tannish, goldish top to it. Forget what that color's called. But this is my favorite colored Yellow Magic. I've caught 1 gazillion fish on this over the years. This little quarter ounce, the reason I'm using a Yellow Magic and not a 6 cent splashback or anything else as a topwater is the smaller profile topwater is getting bites. And not just, is it getting bit by small fish? Yep. But it's not just getting small bites. It's getting the big, I believe Tennessee Shad is the color Tim Rose. And by the way, Tim Rose, who commented Tennessee Shad, is the one that first showed me this color of Yellow Magic way back in the day when we were fishing tournaments together. And I love it. In fact, Tim caught a 10-pounder. One of the few times that me and Tim fished a tournament actually against each other, Tim's first bite of the morning was a 10-pounder he caught on this exact bait right here on Lake Fork. So, really effective little topwater. Working it just kind of medium, not too soft, not too hard, just medium work. But if you see a little bit of shad flickering, the reason I think these smaller topwaters are working better than the other ones are a lot of the shad that are still spawning, a little bit of shad spawn lingering. You see a little shad flickering on the surface doing their spawning thing. The shad that you're seeing are small. The ones that are still spawning are small. And I think that's why these smaller topwaters are working even for bigger bites. So that's been the key deal for me on the topwaters, the downsides. I've tried throwing the walking baits. I've tried throwing the Mad Dogs. I've tried throwing the Spook Juniors. I've tried throwing the bigger popping style baits. The only topwaters that I'm consistently getting bit on when I throw them are the small poppers. And it is an early morning window. Now, if it stays cloudy, you can catch, and even when it's not cloudy, sometimes you can catch fish in the middle of the day on topwater. The big deal is, though, early in the morning, you don't have to see activity. Early in the morning, you can catch fish on topwater, 100%. The rest of the day, whether it's cloudy or sunny, if you don't see surface activity, some shad scattered on the surface, some bass popping and sucking, some shad flickering and spawning throughout the day, because that happens, that grass-related shad spawn, they'll kind of spawn throughout the day. It's weird. But if you don't see the surface activity, the topwater won't get bit. If you see that, the topwater usually get bit throughout the day when you're seeing that activity. So, sharp eye, keep your eyes out. There's our top 5 baits. We got small topwater popping bait. We got a punching bait with a 1-ounce rig and a 6-inch prawn beaver style creature bait. We got a big shaky head out deep. We got an Alabama rig out deep. Oh yeah, and of course, old Novocaine, the chatter bait. We got that one too. Let's get on some questions. How's Big Joe been doing since he retired and closed his tackle store? Man, I believe he's doing good. I ain't heard nothing bad, but I honestly haven't talked to him personally in a little while. I've been thinking about him, actually. It's funny you asked that. I've had Big Joe on my mind the last couple weeks, and I hadn't talked to him in probably longer than I usually don't talk to him. And I almost stopped by the other day, but of course life, I was in a hurry. And this is something I should self-reflect on a little bit, and we should all reflect on. I thought about stopping by to see a friend the other day, and it's Joe Spates, and I hadn't seen him in a long time. Talked to him in a long time. And I was concerned about things that I had to get done when I got home. And I drove right by his place and didn't stop. And you know what? I'm a little bit ashamed to say that I did that, because you should never do that. You should never do that. You should always take time to stop and talk to your dear friends. Reach out and talk to your family. That's something I should have done. I made a mistake there. And you know what? I'm going to rearrange that mistake, and I'm going to make sure I go by and talk to Joe this coming week. Big John says he's been catching on the Crush 50X square bill on the Pines. Dude, that's awesome. Wish I could throw Big Perm at Monticello. We all wish we could, speaking of launching a bait. That's where we launched Big Perm too, but I'm telling you, we launched it in style with 100 pounds of fish, in a half a day. Uh, yeah, I would love to throw a big perm on myself. That'd be awesome. Will a big perm work on a quarter and a 3/8 ounce shaky head? It will, but it's a big worm with a lot of buoyancy. So on a quarter ounce shaky head, big perm will take long to fall. Plus the quarter ounce shaky head, I would never throw it on that because the hook is too small for how big that worm is. I would never throw it on a quarter ounce. Big perm, I mean big worm. That's right, Mike Sims, you know it. Have they grouped up yet in bigger schools offshore? A little bit. I'm starting to see a few bigger schools. You know, the deal is we just can't get that water temp up to that 80-degree mark and make it stay there. Like we can get close and then it'll come back down. You know, it's been 75, 76, 77, 78. Like we just, if we could ever get to that 80-degree mark and stay there, then those schools would get bigger offshore. Uh, you know, that's the deal. I have seen a couple schools this week that got bigger. So I think the fish are just, man, my nose is just a nut. I think the fish are just getting tired of waiting for the heat and just deciding to grow. But they do that with the small limit sometimes too. Like you get to the end of February, early March, if them water temps won't climb and the water temps are still like 53, 54, some of them fish will just start spawning. Like they just, the daylight period, everything else tells them it's getting time, and some of them will just start spawning even when it's too cold to spawn. I've caught fish on the far south end of Lake Fork in like 54-degree water spawning, caught them off the bed. So I think same thing with the offshore deal. Some of these fish are just quite getting tired, you know, getting kind of tired of waiting on the heat to get them gathered up or get more of them to push out there, and they're just going. And so there's more fish going offshore every day right now, a little bit at a time. You will find a bigger school of fish from time to time. Most spots, still not big schools. But once in a while, you will find a bigger school of fish than we were finding the weeks before this. What knot do you tie on a chatterbait and jig? So for all of my fluorocarbon knots, I use a knot called the Homer's Circle knot. It's the strongest fluorocarbon knot I've ever found, unless I'm throwing a jerkbait or something and I'm tying a loop knot. But you know, the vast majority of my fluorocarbon knots, I use a Homer Circle knot. Y'all drop some thumbs up for me, man. Hit them thumbs, dog. Everybody that's enjoying tonight's show, hit a thumbs up right now. Do me a favor. I would greatly appreciate it. What size of a hook am I throwing on my punching rig? So on my punching rig, just so you know, everything on my punching rig, literally every component of my punching rig, let me get it unhitched here from my keeper. Every component of this you can find at sixcensefishing.com, okay? This is the 5/0, which you can use the 4/0. I like to use the biggest hook I can get away with when I'm fishing big, heavy cover for big bass. This is the 5/0 ox flipping hook from 6 Cents Fishing. This is obviously the prawn and bluegill magic. This bobber stop is a 6 cents bobber stop. This 1 ounce tungsten is a chip proof 1 ounce 6 cents tungsten. So everything on my punch rig, which has been very effective lately, you can find on sixcensefishing.com. By the way, Monday's video that's coming out, the video you guys will see Monday, is from Lake Welsh. We went back and checked on old Lake Welsh today, and I took Heath Taylor with me because he lives right by Lake Welsh, and I always try to get Heath on my boat when he has a day off. He rarely has a day off, but he got that day off, and so we went out to Lake Welsh, and we did a punching versus swim bait challenge. And Heath, you guys, if you know Heath, he's an amazing swim bait fisherman, and I like to punch a lot, so I do it a lot. So I guess I'm punching, and we did punching versus swim bait challenge, and I caught some fish, but I caught some good ones punching, and Heath caught a couple good ones on swim baits. I don't want to give the video away, but you probably figure out who won, because I thought I was going to get whooped because Welsh is a swim bait lake. I ended up catching them punching pretty good. When will the 6 Cents frog be released? Sometime before the end of summer is what I've been told. I've had some varying dates been told to me, but I believe it should be ready before the end of summer. It's a difficult thing for them. Overseas production is a difficult thing to get a handle on as far as delivery dates at this point. So that's what they're dealing with. Am I excited for the Bassmaster Classic to come to Texas? Of course I am. In fact, I'll go ahead and tell you this. I'll be at the 2021 Bassmaster Classic. I will be there at the expo, at the event. I was with Smash Tech today. I was with Heath Taylor today. I believe he's going to have a booth. I haven't even spoken to Casey. They'll probably have a booth. I don't know. But I'll be at Ray Roberts. I'll be at the expo for the Classic for 2021. Yeah, I'm excited about it coming to Texas. You know, I understand they have to do it at a lake where they can have a big event close to a major city like that. I get that. Man, there's just, Ray Roberts isn't a bad lake. Dude, there's like some really good lakes around DFW or outside of DFW a little ways that they're just not hitting and not going to the Classic on it. Like, how cool would it be to have Bassmasters Classic on Lake Fork? That would be, of course I would want it on Lake Fork. Of course I would. How about Big Perm on a wobblehead? I have fished it that way and I have caught fish that way. I prefer it on shaky head still, but it does work on a wobblehead. Is the punching on Wells the ticket? Well, you got to watch Monday's video to find out, but what would you fish over the grass flats? Man, if I've got some break between the surface and the grass is scattered, and I can work a chatterbait through there, that would be my number one pick. If the grass is matted, of course, I'm going to punch or throw a frog. That's kind of your only two options when the grass is matted. But if the grass is scattered or a little bit under the surface where it tops out, then chatterbait's kind of been the best bait for me around that situation lately. Chase Clark in the house. Tom G, how about that? One of your videos from Mother's Day 3 years ago popped up today. It was an offshore instructional, and your first time to use a hybrid jig. You caught a couple of hogs. Great video. Well, first of all, thank you very much. I appreciate. I'm very glad that you enjoyed that video. I remember that video. It was the first time I shot an offshore video. We started filming the fall before that, and I kind of tend to stay a little bit shallower in the wintertime. Now, we filmed maybe a jig video or something, but I primarily fish a lot of shallow, especially that year the lake had a lot of grass. I fished a lot of chatterbait, lipless crankbait stuff. But when we got to May, I knew it was coming. I went ahead and filmed. It was my first offshore video I filmed. I remember I was wearing that damn red Lake Fork shirt and that red skeeter hat, my old red boat that I had. And yeah, we grabbed some fish out there on Chicken Ridge and caught a couple of hammers. And then went to another ridge and caught another hammer, and then struggled after that. We caught some bass and some little bass and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, that was my first time on camera using the hybrid jig. And you know what's funny is I still somewhere another rod on that boat has that exact colored hybrid jig and that exact 3/4 ounce, same color, everything hybrid jig out on it right now. That crawfish drone hybrid jig is still my favorite offshore jig to throw. If my wife wants to take the ski boat, but I want to take the bass boat, what do? I need advice. Well, the first thing you have to do in that situation is you have to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself the question, are you about that life? Because if the answer to that question is yes, then the answer to that question is you tell your wife, too bad, so sad, and you hook up the boat and you go fishing. Okay. If the answer to that question is I don't know or maybe not, then you better make your wife happy, because otherwise you're going to be miserable. But if fishing's the priority in your life, you're going to hook that bass boat up, old son. I ain't saying you won't bring a ski pole to screw into the back seat holder thing and then take her skiing after that morning bite's over. I'm not saying you can't do both, but if you bring the ski boat and not the bass boat, you are 100% not about that life. If you don't know, we talking about that hashtag fish life, baby. I have lost some weight since that video 3 years ago. You're right. And the beard makes me look less fat. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know if I like the way the beard looks. I just keep it because it hides my fat face. That's the real deal. That's the secret for all you lady killers out there. Grow that beard. It makes you look less fat in the face. Tim Rhodes keeps asking me about Scuba Steve every week. Who wants to hear the Scuba Steve story? It's a great story. I'm a little uncomfortable telling it on YouTube, but if y'all want to hear Scuba Steve's story, drop me a yes in the comments right now. Say yes or Scuba Steve or something, and I'll tell y'all the Scuba Steve story. It's a pretty good one. I think it's pretty good. Jeremiah, I appreciate you sending the email. I sure will, my man. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, you guys all want to hear the Scuba Steve. Okay. All right, we're going to tell the Scuba Steve story. All right, listen, I'm going to tell the Scuba Steve story, then we're going to wrap it up for the night, okay? So, if you guys have heard on here a million times, Tim Rose, we used to fish a lot of tournaments together. One day, well, I think I just started guiding, or I was part-time guiding, still had my regular job. It's been years ago. Chris Blackman, the guy that does the podcast with me, that you guys have seen do the podcast with me, our buddy Chris Blackman. We're going to Lake Fork. Tim's coming to fish Lake Fork with me just for fun that day. No tournament, no nothing. We're just going to fish for fun. Chris Blackman's coming that day, and he's bringing his girlfriend's stepdad. His girlfriend at the time, her stepdad's coming with him to fish with him. Now, Chris's girlfriend's stepdad is deaf. Me and Tim didn't know this till that day, but he's deaf. And he doesn't really fish other than ponds a lot. So I don't know that he'd ever been to Lake Fork. I don't think he'd ever been to Lake Fork. Well, we're fishing around, and Chris, we're kind of in the same area. Chris is idling through some stumps at a pretty decent clip, and he bumps a couple stumps. And his partner, the deaf guy, decides to go lean up against the butt seat on the front deck and spot stumps and do the whole I don't know if he was trying to hand signal him or talking to him in that voice that deaf people. Listen, I apologize if I'm offending anybody who has like a deaf person in their family or something. But you know how deaf people talk. I don't know what you talk. Anyway, he's like pointing stumps out. And Chris is trying to tell him, bro, get down. Like, get down in the seat. You're going to fall in if I hit one. And he's not listening. Well, he's obviously can't listen, but he's not comprehending what Chris is trying to tell him. It's sure enough, Chris hits a stump, and this dude goes, whoosh, in the drink, right? I was talking about in the drink. So that's where the Scuba Steve comes from. We call him Deaf Scuba Steve. This goofy sucker climbs back in the boat, and we're fishing. And me and Tim are winning, but like we ain't having a banner day. Like we're kind of struggling. I mean, we're really struggling. I think we had 18 or 19 pounds, but for May and Fork, especially fishing real good, like it was nothing. We're fishing till dark. We get on this shady stretch of bank that's starting to get shady in the evening time, and me and Tim are seeing these fish kind of chase, and we're throwing some top waters, but we ain't catching them. We're not catching them. And Chris pulls in there beside us, and Deaf Scuba Steve on the back deck takes this big popper, and I'm talking about stars. Wah! Wah! He's popping this popper like an old Rebel Pop R. Like not a yellow mag, a Pop R. And popping it so hard, it's throwing the water a foot or 18 inches in the air when he pops it. Boom, he gets a blow up. It's like a 6-pounder. And he's fighting it. And he fights it and takes it around the back of the boat. It gets on the motor prop and breaks off. And all you hear is Scuba Steve in his deaf voice saying, I don't know, whatever deaf version of cuss words are, that's what he was yelling. It was, me and Tim were about to fall out of the boat. So he ties on another popper. Boom, gets another like big, it's huge. We're seeing it jump. It's like 6, 7, 8 pounds, huge fish. He's trying to fight it to the boat. He gets it around the back of the boat. It loses another one. Here he goes with the deaf cuss words again. Dude, he lost 3 big old fish. Any one of which that he would have put in the boat would have made them beat us that day. And I've never seen a deaf person get that mad, or I've never really known that deaf people cussed. But I don't even know what he was saying, but I'm pretty sure they were cuss words. That is the Deaf Scuba Steve story. Tim, you finally got me to talk bad about deaf people on air, which is what you've been trying to antagonize me into for weeks now. Congratulations, buddy. You got me to do it. Fletcher says, Tom Fleischer says, B-Law, Cody Cannon. Cody Cannon, folks, he's just the lead singer from Whiskey Myers. No big deal. Just my favorite band on earth. He says, Cody Cannon said, hush, he's trying to tune his guitar. Tell him if he ain't got a tune by now, son. Like, when he picks up my fishing reel, I don't tell him to hold on. I got to dial in the brakes. Like, his guitar should be tuned. He's a professional, bro. Let's go, Cannon. Let's go. Just kidding, man. Enjoyed the part of your live show I got to see tonight. I really enjoyed it, man. You guys freaking rock, but y'all already know that. All right, boys, we're going to wrap it up right there, and I'm going to say thank you to each and every one of you that join us Thursday nights and watch all the videos, everything you do. Hey, go watch the video from last night. It's like raw, uncut footage from me and Johnny the Kid, a.k.a. Legend in the Making. It's just raw, uncut footage from me and him fishing Lake Fork. So if you guys like that, please go watch that video. Leave me a comment down below. If you want to see us do more raw, uncut type of videos, long format videos like that, let me know. We'd be happy to do it. This next Monday, we're going to go back to the regular style as far as the edited video, shorter format. But if y'all want to see that longer format, that's what we want to do. So other than that, man, we will talk to you guys later, I guess. Stay tuned for more tournament announcements. We'll have a seminar not tomorrow night, but a week from tomorrow night, we'll have another seminar at Lake Fork Marina. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Y'all rock. See you next time right here in your Lake Fork Guide.